My beloved child, what you are about to hear may cause your heart to tremble. Be serious, for this might be the last time your cry can still reach me. I give you exactly 1 minute to realize this. Your soul is dying in a world that only appears to be alive. I have not been silent, but you no longer listen. My voice is gentle while the world is loud. I call out continually through advertisements, notifications, voices, and the chaos of your thoughts, yet you do not respond. The world has stolen the stillness from your soul. It has left behind a spirit that is weary, withered, and hollow. You rush from worry to temptation, thinking you are living, but in truth you are merely surviving. And in that busyness you have forgotten me. You have forgotten prayer, the very breath of your soul. You live in a world that never stops shouting social media, the news, public opinion, pressure. My voice grows fainter not because I've moved away, but because your heart has slowly made less and less room for me. You still pray, but out of routine, with no soul, no tears, no expectation. The world has taught you to believe I am your last resort, the final option when everything else fails. But my child, if prayer is not your first response, it may never have the chance to be your last. Yet I am the God who never abandons. Every whisper from you, even if faint, even if late, I still hear. Prayer is not a ritual, it is the heartbeat between me and you. When you knock on heaven's door with faith, it opens not because you are worthy, but because I have paved the way with my own blood. You do not need to wait until you are desperate to seek me. Come, while there is still time, while the door is still ajar, because prayer is where life begins, where healing flows, where the journey home starts. My beloved child, when you utter whispers, you think no one hears. That is the very moment heaven is silently listening. Your prayers never fall into a void. They rise straight to my throne like sweet incense gathered in golden bowls, not a single drop lost. I have never missed a word, not the tear-stained whispers nor the quiet sighs in the dark of night. You may forget, but I do not. I do not listen because you are strong or righteous. I listen because I am your Father, and I love you with an unshakable love. I know there are times you ask, "Where are you, God? Why don't you answer?" But you don't see that the moment you breathe a prayer, a beam of light breaks through the darkness, and I capture that light. You may live in a world so noisy, so full of lies that your words seem meaningless. But in a realm higher than the heavens, your voice still echoes like a sacred song. What the world calls weakness, I call precious. And yes, I know there are days when you pray and see nothing happen. You wait, and then disappointment creeps in. You ask me, why won't you do something? But I am doing something, my child, just not in the way you imagined. There are miracles I plant in silence. There are doors I close to protect you from things you cannot yet see. True love doesn't always say yes. Sometimes it says wait, and sometimes no. You think I am silent, but in truth I am patiently waiting. I wait for your heart to grow in maturity, to trust me, not only when all goes well, but even when darkness surrounds. A tree cannot bloom in winter, just as you cannot receive great things while your faith remains fragile. Do not measure my love by how quickly your prayers are answered. Measure it by my faithfulness. I am not the one who always gives you what you want, but I always give you what you need in the right time, the right way, and always for your good. And there is something I never want you to forget, no matter how much the world tries to make you forget it. When you pray, heaven and earth move. Even if your eyes cannot see, your words shake the spiritual realm. When you kneel, angels rise. When you speak, chains begin to break. When you cry, I issue commands. You think you are weak, but in reality you are wielding the most powerful weapon in the universe. Not a sword or spear, but faith that roars through prayer. Have you ever heard of Daniel in the Bible? He prayed without stopping for 21 days. No sign, no miracle appeared before him, but from the very first day, I sent my angel. There was a fierce battle between my messenger and the forces of darkness, blocking the answer. But Daniel did not stop, and his perseverance made a way. Do you see, prayer is not just an action, it is warfare. Every time you pray, you hold a sword in your hand without even knowing it. If you could see what happens every time you whisper, Father, you would never treat those words lightly again. Darkness trembles when a soul believes. Heaven moves when someone prays in faith. Your words, though trembling, are building a bridge between this broken world and my heavenly throne. My beloved child, do not remain silent, because prayer is the breath of your soul and the knock that opens the gates of heaven. My beloved child, do not let the delays cool your heart. I see clearly the days you pray in silence when your only words are tears soaking the pillow. I do not turn away when you weep, nor am I deaf to the cries that seem to go unanswered. You think I have forgotten, but silence is not rejection. Some answers require time, for if I deliver them too soon, they may crush you instead of bless you. I love you too much to rush. Sometimes it is through the waiting that I refine your faith and soften your heart. I know you are weary, but you are not alone. In every moment of your waiting, I am there, not merely watching, but working. I am shifting circumstances, touching hearts, building what you cannot yet see. I am preparing you for what I have prepared for you. And sometimes the answer does not come through outward change, but through inward renewal. I may not take the pain away, but I will give you the strength to walk through it, stronger, deeper, and closer to me. You ask me, why this pain? And I answer, because I love you, I will not let your suffering be in vain. I do not sow pain, but I redeem it. Not a single tear you shed escapes my notice. Not one long night passes without me beside you. You may not understand it all now, but one day you will look back and see that what broke you yesterday paved the way for the blessings of today. Your old wounds will become glory when you place them in my hands. Look to the cross and you will see a truth, pain, loss, and darkness once covered, even me. But that was not the end, and neither is it the end of your story. Do not let what you do not understand destroy your faith in what I have promised. For I have not forgotten you, I have not abandoned you, and I have never lost a single story I have written. Even when you only see broken pieces, I am weaving a tapestry. Each stitch, each thread, even the dark patches are part of a radiant masterpiece marked with my signature. Do you remember Joseph's story? The young man betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, forgotten in prison. It seemed all was lost, but I was still working. I used the very wounds to place Joseph exactly where I had destined him to be. Not one step was wasted. And then when the time came, that boy was not only delivered, he became the one who brought life to a nation. Do you see, pain is not the end. It is the beginning of a wondrous redemption if you are willing to take my hand and walk forward. My child, do not lose heart. Do not let the silence pull you away from me. Do not let the pain close your heart. For it is precisely when you are at your weakest that I am closest. It is in the desert that I cause water to flow from stone. It is in the darkness that I shine the brightest light. Keep praying, not because everything is already well, but because in the midst of all that is not well, you are closer to me than ever. And I promise all things, both good and bad, will work together for your good, for you are the one I love. My beloved child, I do not want you to live in fear, but neither do I want you lulled into the illusion of safety. There is a day appointed, not marked on human calendars, not delayed by human will. It is the day every soul will stand before my throne, no hiding, no denying, no excuses. That day is not a metaphor, not a symbolic warning. It is truth, the moment that will determine eternity. I appointed that day before time began, and it will come like a thief in the night, suddenly, without warning. You may think you still have time, but the truth is, every breath you take draws you closer to that day. Every word you speak, every deed you do, even your unspoken thoughts, they are not invisible to me. Nothing hidden in darkness will remain unexposed in the light. I do not need evidence, for I know the heart of man. You may forget what you have done, but I do not forget. I do not remember to condemn, but to measure righteousness, to discern what is true and what is false. On that day, no one will be judged by appearances, but by truth. Masks will fall, false reputations will vanish. What I seek is not outward perfection, but a sincere heart. You may have fallen, failed, or wandered in darkness, but if your heart is true, I will see it. And if your heart is hardened, hiding behind hypocrisy, I will see that too. That day is not to shame, but to reveal, to weigh all things by my unerring justice. Do you know why I warn you? Because I love you. I do not want you caught unaware. I do not want you to enter that day with empty hands, a regretful soul, and a cold heart. I want you to approach with peace like a child returning home, not trembling in judgment but rejoicing in welcome. But that can only happen if you live each day with vigilance, with genuine faith, and with a deep life of prayer, for your relationship with me today determines where you stand tomorrow. Listen to me, my child. That day is the dividing line between truth and illusion, between the holy and the defiled, between those who know me and those who merely say they do. Do not be like the 5 foolish virgins who carried lamps without oil. When the bridegroom came, the door was shut, and the oil could not be borrowed. Be watchful. Keep your lamp burning through prayer, obedience, and sincere love. Do not wait for the trumpet to sound to begin preparing, for then it will be too late. My mercy is vast, but judgment is certain. Do not live as though that day is not real, for it is coming and I will be there. And are you ready, my beloved child? I know you are hurting. I have seen what they did to you, the insults, the betrayals, the actions that broke your heart. I did not turn away from that pain. But I see something even more sorrowful. You are still holding on to it as if it were a wound that never closed. You carry your bitterness not like a scar, but like a chain. And with every passing day, it tightens around your soul, keeping you from breathing, from rejoicing, from living freely, as I intended you to live. Forgiveness does not mean saying what they did was right. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or denying the pain. Forgiveness is the bravest act of the soul, when you lay down the burden and say, I will no longer imprison myself in the past. When you forgive, you are not setting the offender free, you are setting yourself free. You are unlocking the invisible but very real shackles that have kept you bound in resentment, in anger, in a heart closed off to the world and even to me. I do not ask you to forgive so that you will be weak. I ask you to forgive so that you may be free. For if you do not forgive, it is you who carry the wound wherever you go. You live with the ghost of something past, letting it rule your emotions, your choices, even your faith. I see it, and my heart aches with you. For I did not create you to be bound in bitterness. I created you to be free, to walk lightly, to live in love and healing. You say, I cannot forgive them. And I say, let me handle them. Vengeance is mine, justice is mine. You do not need to carry that within your heart. When you place them into my hands, you are not surrendering justice. You are choosing to trust that I judge with holiness, righteousness, and perfection. You will not always understand why I have not acted yet, or why they seem to continue thriving. But my child, I am never late, nor do I ignore evil. I am waiting for the right time, for when I act, no one can stand in the way. Have you ever seen the rain fall? Forgiveness is like that. It doesn't erase the past, but it softens the hardened soil. And your soul needs that. Because if you do not forgive, the wound will fester, and you will be destroyed not by your enemy, but by what is decaying inside. I do not want that for you. I long to see you restored, strong, and living as you were created to live, with a heart ruled by nothing but my love. Remember Joseph, my child, sold by his own brothers, wronged, imprisoned, and shamed. But when he had the chance to take revenge, he did not. Joseph forgave, and because he forgave, he saved his family, his people, and even himself. Forgiveness made him not merely a survivor, but a life giver. I desire the same for you. You are not defeated, you are an heir to life in me. But you cannot take hold of the new life while clinging tightly to the old. So let go, my child. Not because they deserve it, but because you need to be healed. Give what they did to me, and I will take care of it. You do your part, forgive, move forward, and trust that justice never slips from my hands. Forgive to live, to be free, and to let your heart learn again what true peace feels like. My beloved child, the world around you is screaming. It demands that you run, that you do, that you react, that you prove your worth. It surrounds you with notifications, opinions, expectations, comparisons, news, and even the voices in your own mind that you don't realize are steering your every move. Moment by moment, if you do not intentionally listen for me, you will be swept away by that noise without even knowing it. And tragically, it is that very distraction that slowly kills the sacred bond between you and me. I am not silent. I have never been silent. But my voice is not a shout. It is a whisper. It requires you to pause, to listen, to quiet your soul. Just like Elijah in the storm, he did not meet me in the earthquake or the fire, but in the gentle breeze. So too, I will not compete with the world to gain your attention, because true love does not force. I am still here whispering in the night, in your sighs in the quiet morning. But you have been too busy to notice me. You only come to me when the crisis hits, when everything is tangled, when you are desperate. And of course I do not reject you. I am your refuge in trouble. But my child, I am not just a rescuer in emergencies. I am a father, and a father longs to be with you every day. I want to walk with you, sit with you, hear your laughter, listen to you talk about an ordinary day. True love is not only found in tears, but also in the seemingly uneventful moments. I do not just want to be pleaded with, I want to be loved and shared with. There are things I can only give you in stillness. There is healing that happens only when your soul sits quietly at my feet, without needing to speak, just present. In that world, I will remind you of who you are in me. Not a product of others' opinions, not a replica of society, not a victim of your circumstances. You are the one I love, the one I chose, the one I paid for with my very life. But to hear that, you must be still, because my voice is gentle, never forceful, yet powerful enough to mend the deepest cracks in you. Do this one simple thing, my child. Stop, turn off the devices, fold your phone, step away from the crowd. Sit not to do, but just to be with me. Don't come just to ask, come to commune. Don't seek me only for answers. Seek me because you want to love and be loved. In the quiet, you will hear the truths you've forgotten, that you are loved, that you are not alone, and that you do not need to strive to be accepted. You were accepted long before you ever knew my name. Learn this from Jesus, my son. Before healing the crowds, before performing miracles, before Gethsemane, he would withdraw to lonely places to pray. Not because he was weak, but because his connection with me was the source of his strength. So too, my child, don't try to live strong alone. Step away from the noise and return to the stillness, where you will hear not only my voice, but your own heart beating once again in rhythm with heaven. My dear one, let me lead you once more deeper into the truth you've forgotten. I hear your silent sighs in the dark, your quiet tears when you think no one sees. You thought I pulled away, that I only draw near when you are holy enough, strong enough, good enough. But my beloved, if I were only near when you are strong, I would be no more than a reward, not a father. No, I am the one who never abandons the soul that I have etched into the palm of my hand. You once thought, perhaps God only listens to the faithful. But I ask you, does a toddler who stumbles get left behind, or are they picked up and held close? I do not love you according to your maturity. My love is unconditional, unchanging with your daily state. I do not wait for you to draw near before I open my arms. My arms have been open long before you could even speak my name. You are weary from thinking you must be worthy, to be heard, to be loved, to feel my presence. But my child, I loved you even before you were formed in your mother's womb. I am not bound by time. To me, every moment is alive. The prayer you whispered in the rain 10 years ago, the cry you released when all hope broke, I remember them still. I do not store your prayers like faded memories, but like a flame ever burning, always present within me. For every prayer of yours is not mere sound, it is a part of your soul reaching for light. I do not forget. I do not overlook. I do not turn away. I know there are things you asked for that never came, dreams that crumbled, cries that seemed to meet only silence. But my child, it is in those very places where silence confused you the most that I worked the deepest. Sometimes I did not give what you asked because I knew what you needed even more. I kept you from things that seemed good but would have led you astray. I delayed not because I was slow to answer, but because I loved you too much to entrust great things to a soul not yet ready. I have not only saved you from danger, I have saved you from yourself. You may think you've wandered too far, strayed beyond return. But you don't know, at the very place you thought yourself most lost, I had already laid down my footsteps before you. When you were adrift, I did not wait at a distance. I stepped into the chaos to find you. Like the shepherd who leaves the 99 to find the one, I do not just tell that story, I live it every day in your life. You think you've been forgotten, but I've been calling your name. The only problem is, My voice is gentler than the chaos that surrounds you. My presence doesn't arrive with thunder or dazzling light. It comes when you are still in the rush of life. It comes when you stop searching for answers and start seeking me. In a world clamoring for your attention, I remain patient, not shouting, not forcing, just waiting for you to turn back. Every time you sit in silence, even for just a few minutes, I have already been there longer waiting. I am not wearied by your delays. I am only saddened when you forget yourself in the never-ending race of this world. Beloved child, pause for a moment, not to do more, but to be still and listen. To be reminded that you are not the sum of your achievements or failures. You are my breath made in the image of the Creator. When you sit in stillness, you will hear the voice within and realize it carries my imprint. How long has it been since you truly listened to your own soul? How long have you been living in reaction, in pursuit, in response, without pausing to ask, who am I in you? Stillness is not escape. It is a return, not to a place, but to a heart that has lost its way. When you are still, I will heal what you didn't even know was wounded. I will stir dreams you thought had died. I will lift you not with thunderous miracles, but with a presence that shakes your soul. No lightning, no parting sea, only your willingness to come and to stay. Stay long enough for me to dry your tears, soothe your spirit, and remind you, you still have me. You don't need to be perfect to come close. I did not choose you because you were good. I chose you because you are mine. And when you choose to return, I do not interrogate, I do not judge, I embrace. Like the father in the parable of the prodigal son, I still look toward the gate each day. Not because I have nothing else to do, but because nothing matters more than your coming home. Dust-covered feet, torn clothes, broken heart, I still wrap my arms around you and say, this is my child, once lost, now found, once dead, now alive. My child, the world will always try to make you forget me. It will fill your mind with noise, busyness, expectations, and fear. It will make you believe you must earn acceptance, must strive to have worth. But dear one, I loved you before you ever did a single lovable thing. You don't need the approval of others when I have already called you by name. Don't let the voice of the world drown out the call of heaven. You were not born merely to survive, you were born to live in me. And to live in me, you must learn to live in stillness. Not the silence of failure, but the place where life is formed. It is where I reset your heartbeat, where faith is nurtured not by words but by presence. Where I teach you great things not through loudness but through a gentle touch, and wonders happen without spectacle. Step out of the noise, my child. Return to the table I have prepared for you in the wilderness. Let me whisper things no one else can hear. Let me tell you what I've always said, that you are loved, you are chosen, you are not alone, and I am still I, unchanging. Even when everything changes, I remain your refuge. Even when you do not pray, I am still listening for your voice. My dear child, I know there are times you have no words left, and that is okay, because in silence I understand the language of your tears, your searching gaze, even your weary quiet. Be there with me and you will realize I am not only the God of the storm, but also the God of the silence. You don't have to do something grand to reach me. Just be present, just open your heart. Just pause for a moment, and I will do the rest. My beloved, do you know this? Every time you turn your face away in silence, hiding your pain behind a forced smile, I see more clearly than you dare admit. When you cry in the dark, when your sobs are muffled by the pillow, and you think no one hears, I am there so close that if you turn your head you will see my arms still open. Every tear that falls is not forgotten. I do not let them vanish into nothing. I keep them as I would keep the most precious offering from your heart, because I see not only the tears but the pain beneath them. There are times you whisper, Lord, do you see? Are you listening? And I, the living one, am silent, not because I am far, but because I am holding you in a presence you cannot yet perceive amid the storm within. I am not silent from indifference, but because I am teaching you to listen by faith, not by feeling. There are things I don't answer immediately, not because I forget, but because my love is greater than temporary relief. You often wish I acted the way you expect on the schedule you desire, but true love doesn't always say yes. There are times you plead for me to open a door, yet, if I had it, would have led you into darkness. Some things seem good to you, but I who see without limits know they would pull you away from the purpose I designed for you. And so I say no, not to hurt, but to protect you from what you don't yet know you need to avoid. I know you are sad. I know you feel abandoned. But let me speak this into your soul like a gentle breeze, what you call loss. I call preparation. Every door closed, every grip loosened, every departure allowed. None are outside my permission. And I only allow such things when I've already prepared something better ahead. Not better by your standard, but right, according to the wisdom of heaven. My child, I am not only the one who hears your prayers, I am the author of your story. And sometimes that story begins not with songs, but with sighs, not with celebration, but with a season of sorrow. Yet do not think this means I've given up halfway. For in the very fragments I am weaving something great. Every detail, even the imperfect ones, is part of the design I drew for your life. If you could see the whole picture as I do, you would weep not in regret, but in the realization that everything I've gone through had meaning. Sometimes I allow the storm, but I never leave you in it alone. Some seasons feel like abandonment, but they are truly invitations to a closeness that peace could never offer. It is in the desert that you hear me clearest. It is in loneliness that you learn to trust me, not through feelings, but through the life bond between father and child. What you call silence is actually the sacred pause where heaven is preparing an answer of eternal weight. Remember Abraham, he waited decades to see the promise fulfilled, and Job, he lost everything, was misunderstood, yet never gave up his faith. And Jesus, my very son, prayed in Gethsemane, sweating blood in anguish, yet still said, "Not my will, but yours be done." Do you see, the greatest souls were not formed in applause, but in tears and surrender. And you too are being shaped this way. I see you trying to walk in faith even when your heart bleeds. I see you praying even when words run dry. And I want you to know, as long as you are still reaching to believe, I am still moving. Faith is not a surge of emotion. Faith is choosing to trust me in the barren desert. Choosing to pray even when you no longer expect miracles. Choosing to forgive even when your heart is still bleeding. In those moments you resemble me more than ever. And then there will come a time, not because of merit, but because of timing, when I will open a new door. You will look back and see that I never left you. Not a single prayer was wasted. Not a single tear fell in vain. All were kept treasured, and one day I will use those very tears to water the seeds of faith you sowed in weariness. And the harvest will come abundant, overflowing beyond what you ever imagined. But before that, you must learn one sacred lesson: to be silent and trust me. Not silent in fear, but silent to listen. Not paused in despair, but paused so your soul can be healed. In the stillness you will hear my whisper above the clamor. In the silence you will reclaim your true identity, not as a failure, not as one abandoned, but as one chosen, loved, and being shaped to be more like me. Do not chase human validation, my child. They don't see the full picture as I do. They don't understand the road you walk, but I do. I saw you from the beginning, and I know exactly where you need to go. You don't need to strive to become someone, just return to me. Don't struggle to reclaim everything you've lost. Let me restore you my way in, my time, with a love that cannot be matched. And in the end, when you look back on what once seemed wasted years, you will witness a wonder. You were not shaped merely to survive, but to shine. You will stand in this world not with a heart hardened by bitterness, but one healed and full of mercy. You will become a refuge for others because you once found refuge in me. And all those things that seemed like losses will have become the very stones that built something eternal. Beloved child, I know you have waited for so long. Endless winters have passed through. Your soul mornings, you woke up feeling hollow nights. You lay awake with no answers. You've counted the days, the years, hoping for a word, a miracle, a door to open. I see the weariness in your eyes as you look to the heavens, as if searching for something drifting further away. I hear the sighs you couldn't even put into words, and I understand. I truly do. But my child, I am never in a hurry. I do not operate by human timelines, for I am the one who holds all time, both the beginning and the fulfillment. When you sit in silence thinking nothing is happening, That is when I am at work in the deepest places. You are asking me to move in your circumstances, but I am shaping you to be able to carry what you are asking for. You think you are standing still, but your soul is being molded little by little, day by day. Some things can only grow in the dark. Seeds do not bloom in the noonday sun, but in the soil hidden unseen where everything seems hopeless. But I am there, watering, nourishing, protecting. And when the season is right, what I've sown in your heart will burst forth in a way that leaves you in awe. I hear your silent question, have I done something wrong? Am I not good enough for God to answer? You look back and see all your failures, wrong turns, moments you turned away from me. You feel condemned by your own memories, afraid that I see you through the same cold lens you see yourself. But oh child, have you forgotten who I am? I am not like people. I do not see you through the lens of your past, but through the image of myself that I placed within you. I see you through the eyes of unfailing love. My love does not crack under the weight of your stumbles. It is not swayed by your weakness. My love is steadier than the mountains, deeper than the oceans, longer lasting than any mistake you could ever make. I saw it all before you spoke your first word. I saw the darkest parts of you, and I still chose you. I didn't choose you because you were worthy. I chose you because I am the one who calls the unworthy and makes them precious in my hands. You are my creation, not the sum of your failures, but a masterpiece in progress crafted by my own hands. When you fall, I do not turn away. When you break, I do not cast you aside. I draw nearer. I gather every shattered piece not to rebuild the old you, but to create something new, something that has never existed before. My beloved, my delay is not abandonment. It is the time I use to build depth. In the silence that seems terrifying, I am softening your heart, pruning what is unnecessary, stripping away pride and making space for true trust. It is not comfortable, but it is essential. It is not quick, but it is lasting. I don't just want you to arrive. I want you to arrive with a refined heart. I don't want you to gain a blessing only to lose yourself. That is why I wait. That is why I slow things down, but I never leave. I did not create you to live under constant fear of disappointing me. You may grieve me, but you cannot make me abandon you. My love is not withdrawn because of your failures. It is not fragile like human affection. It is not calculating, not conditional, not exhaustible. Every time you turn back, I am there, not with hands clenched in judgment, but with arms wide open. I don't just forgive you, I restore you. I don't just wash away your sin, I call you back to your true name, my child, my beloved bearer of my image. There will be days you feel you're not progressing. There will be weeks your faith feels cold and your prayers dry. But don't pull away. Come to me even if all you have is exhaustion. I do not need eloquent words. I just need an honest heart, even a whisper. Here I am is enough. I hear it. I come. Not because you are good enough, but because I cannot not love you. You haven't seen the full picture I am weaving. You've only seen the tangled threads, the dark patches that seem to mean nothing. But from heaven I see the whole design, and trust me, it will leave you speechless. Every pain, every day of waiting, every stumble and rising again, they are all pieces of the eternal masterpiece. Nothing is wasted. Not one tear forgotten, not one prayer unheard. All are held in my heart, and I am the one who will complete the good work I began in you. So keep believing even when everything in you screams that there is no hope. Hold on even if by the thinnest thread, I will not let it snap. Tell me what you're afraid to say to others. Let me into the places of shame, weakness, and chaos, for it is right there that my grace will do its greatest work. You don't need to clean yourself up before coming to me. Come as you are tired, messy, tangled, and let me do the rest. I love you and I have never stopped. Nothing can separate you from my love, not sin, not fear, not the past, not silence, not even waiting. For in every moment you wait, I am drawing nearer. In each seemingly meaningless second, I am shaping a life marked by me. A life that won't shatter in the storms, won't sway with emotions, but will be anchored in eternal love. So rise. Wipe your tears, take a deep breath, and take the next step, not because you are strong, but because you are not alone. I am here. I have never left. And I who began this good work in you will carry it to completion in the perfect time in ways beyond all you could ask or imagine, my beloved child. I hear your cry not through ears but through my heart. The cry of a wounded soul, a heart heavy with regret, a life weighed down by burdens you've tried to hide behind a fragile smile. You think you must be strong, must hold everything together. But I know there are nights you bury your face in the pillow, lips silent but heart screaming. You whisper to yourself, I'm not worthy. I've messed up too much. I can't come back. But oh child, it is precisely in your deepest despair that I am closest to you. When you feel you're falling into the abyss, I am not watching from afar. I am there, kneeling beside you, arms reaching out, saying, you still belong to me. Do not believe the voices in your head, the accusations, the echoes of the past, the world's harsh words repeating that you are useless, sinful, broken. Those voices are not from me. I never made you to be defined by your failures. You are a marvelous creation formed by my hands, shaped in love, breathed into with my own breath. Yes, you lost your way. Yes, you fell. But did I not come into the world to save the lost? I didn't come seeking the perfect. I came for people like you, the broken-hearted, the ones longing for change, the ones clinging to the faint hope. Could God still love someone like me? And the answer is yes. Not just could, but I already have. Before you failed, before you rejected me, before you lost yourself, I loved you. That love is not bound by conditions, not earned through performance, not limited by the past. I loved you when you were far. I loved you when you didn't see me. And I still love you even when you turn away. It was that very love that made me leave heaven, walk into the dust, and die like a criminal to redeem you, not because you were worthy, but to make you worthy. My blood was not shed in vain. Every drop declared, you matter. You are worth saving. You are worthy of life. So don't step back anymore, my child. Don't believe your failures are greater than my mercy. Don't let sin speak the final word. For I, not your past, write the next chapter of your life. There is no shadow my light cannot penetrate, no stain my blood cannot cleanse. When I look at you, I don't see what you've done wrong, I see what I can make new. I see you not in your brokenness, but in the radiant image I designed from the beginning, and I will never give up on that plan. You are weary, aren't you? Tired of pretending to be okay. Tired of smiling while your heart is breaking. Tired of running and finding no way out. I see you and I say, stop. Stop to breathe. Stop to release. Stop to return. True strength is not running without rest. True strength is kneeling before me and saying, I can't carry this alone. And when you let go, it is not failure. It is when I begin to move. I never expected you to live apart from me. I didn't create you to do everything on your own. I invite you to walk beside me step by step so I can carry the burdens you've held far too long. My child, I know what you bear: unspoken words, unforgiven moments, regrets, lost chances, and the torment of thinking you've ruined everything. But remember this: what you've broken I can heal. What you've lost I can restore. What seems over I can make new again. Come near to me. No need to prepare. No need to fix everything before returning. Come as you are, exhausted, empty-handed, bruised in spirit. I do not seek performance. I seek honesty. And if all you can offer are broken pieces, offer them. For I am the one who can make them shine. Do not fear me, my child. My presence is not punishment. It is refuge. My arms are not courtroom doors. They are a place of rest. You've wandered long enough. You've listened to too many voices: fear, shame, blame. Be still. Hear my voice, not the world's, not guilt's, but my whisper calling your name. I am here, not to condemn, but to embrace. Not to repeat the past, but to begin something new. I am the giver of life, and I still hold the pen. If you place your hand in mine, I will write the next chapter, more beautiful, deeper, stronger. Not because you've become better, but because you've dared to surrender into my hands. And when you are in me, you'll begin to discover rest you've never known, not just for your body, but for your soul. The weight will lighten, the fear will fade, the accusations will fall silent. And in their place you will hear me whisper, I love you. I have never left you. I am still waiting for you. Stay there in that peace. Let your soul heal. Don't rush back to the noise, the pressure, the pace of the world. Just sit here with me and let me heal every part of you. You may not understand why I still choose you, why I still call you beloved after all that's happened. But that's what true love always does. It loves first, loves without return, loves until the beloved believes they are truly worthy of love. And one day you will no longer say, I'm not worthy, but you will smile through tears and say, I know I belong to you. My child, don't take another step without holding my hand. Life will still have storms, winds, and moments of being lost. But if you walk with me, you will never be truly lost again. And even if you wander once more, I will still seek, I will still call, I will still love, for my love for you has no limits, no conditions, no end. It began at the cross and it continues still, in this very moment. My beloved child, I know you are weary. Weary from chasing after nameless calls, weary from trying to please everyone around you, weary from attempting to soothe yourself amid the screaming voices of worries, pressure, expectations, and hidden fears no one else knows about. You have wandered far from the stillness of your soul, the place where you once heard me clearly. You think you are living, but truly, you are being pulled by the rhythm of others, by the world, by streams of opinions that leave your heart storm-tossed and disoriented. But now I am calling you home, not to a physical place, but back to my presence, the place where you once knew what peace felt like. Be still, my child. Stop running. Do not seek more counsel from voices that do not truly know you. Do not act hastily while your heart is still trembling. In that stillness, you will realize I was never far. I've always been here waiting for you. I have never grown weary in waiting, but I long for you not to delay too long and miss the most beautiful things I have prepared for you. The world will stay noisy, people will keep speaking, and your mind, if not anchored in me, will remain in chaos. Yet in the midst of that chaos, my whisper still resounds. Not like thunder, but like a gentle breeze, just enough for your soul to know. You are not alone. My voice does not frighten you nor burden you. It lifts you, soothes your heart, and assures you that you are on the right path, even if your steps are slow and unsteady. It is in stillness that you will be strengthened, not by the noise, but by the unshakable presence of the Holy. You must make room in your heart for me to enter. Not just in hurried morning readings of Scripture, not just in desperate prayers when all else fails. I desire a relationship with you that goes beyond need, one built on connection. I want you to know that I delight in sitting beside you on the most ordinary of days. I love hearing you talk about a cup of tea you enjoyed, a beautiful rain you saw, a song that made you smile. I am not only the God of great miracles, I am also the Father in your simplest moments. I did not save you to watch from afar. I desire to walk with you each day, every hour, every moment. Do you remember what I placed in your heart, the very first dreams, when you still believed anything was possible? There are things you once held close, but laid down because someone mocked them, because life frightened you, because the years washed away your courage. There are dreams you've never spoken aloud, too grand, too distant, too foolish in your eyes. But I know. I saw when that dream was born in you. It wasn't your idea. I planted it in your heart before you even knew its meaning. For every good and perfect gift comes from me, even those dreams you believe you've forgotten. I never write a first chapter without intending to complete the story. I never begin a journey and then leave you to walk alone. If I am the author, and indeed I am the one writing your life, then every chapter, every scene, every step carries purpose. Sometimes you think the story is broken, that perhaps it was all just illusion. But no, my child, I do not work by emotion. I work by faithfulness, and what I have begun I will finish. It may not unfold the way you envisioned. It may look nothing like the plans you wrote down, but I promise the ending will be far more beautiful. For what I write always exceeds your imagination. Not because you deserve it, but because I am the one who never breaks a promise. What you need is not full understanding of the blueprint, but trust in the hand that holds the pen. Begin again. Pick up those dreams, dust them off, and bring them to me. I will breathe life into what you thought was dead. I will bring green again to what seemed dry and barren. but you must step away from the noise, embrace the stillness, and sit quietly with yourself and with me. Do not fear the silence, for silence is not empty. Silence is where I speak most clearly. It is where you will see yourself as you truly are and see me as I truly am. And when you let me into every little detail of your life, not just in moments of need, but in the ordinary minutes, you will witness something miraculous. You will no longer search for meaning far away, because in that very moment you will be living in meaning already. In every gesture, every word, every peaceful sleep, you will know I am alive because I am living with you. My child, sit down. Sit with me. No need to say much, no need to explain. Just stay, and I will do the rest. I will heal, I will remind, I will lift you. No need for dazzling lights or overwhelming emotions, only presence. For what you've been missing is not an answer, it's an embrace. And my arms are always open, beloved. Always, my dearest one. You are not a nameless face lost in a sea of people. You are not a passing glance in this life unnoticed by anyone. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. On the contrary, you are engraved in me, not on paper, not on stone, but on the very palm of my hand. I have carved your name where it cannot be washed away, cannot fade. The place once pierced by nails that brought eternal life is the very place where your worth is inscribed with a love that never fades. When the world turns away, when friends fall silent, when the room feels empty and your heart aches with loneliness, I am still there. When your eyes open to the morning, I am already waiting for you in the dawn's light. When you collapse in exhaustion at night, I watch over each breath you take. Even if your thoughts wander 100 ways, my gaze remains fixed on you. For among billions of souls, I never stop thinking about one you. My thoughts toward you are not vague hopes. They are not backup plans nor general promises given to all but personal to none. No, my child. My thoughts of you outnumber the grains of sand, and each one is good living and woven with kindness. I did not create you to lose your way. I formed you with purpose, with hope, with a future wrapped in my everlasting arms. And then you ask, but why the pain? Why the loss? Oh, my child, those questions are not foreign to me. They have been cried out through the ages, and I have heard every single one. But what I want you to know is this: I have never left you alone in your sorrow. You may not feel me, but I have never turned away. In your darkest nights I draw nearest. When your soul screams in silence, when your tears soak your pillow and no one wipes them away, I am the one who gathers every drop to weave something miraculous. You think pain is meaningless, but in my hands, nothing is wasted. Every time you break, every time you lose what felt essential, I am holding the pieces, not to put them back as they were, but to form something new, stronger, more beautiful. Every sleepless night, every cry of, why, those are the moments I am shaping you into a testimony of glory not yet seen. One day you will understand there is nothing I allow that does not carry eternal value. The same hand that permitted the storm to rise is the same hand that will calm the waves. I did not let the storm swallow you. I allowed it so you might see how powerful I am when I silence everything with just one word. And when you look back, you will see in the upheaval you learned to stand firm. In the breaking you discovered what true hope is. And in the tears you found me not as a distant being, but as a father holding you in the storm. I know you long for control. You want to understand everything before taking a step. You want to see the path, read the map, measure the risk, then walk. But faith is not like that, my beloved. Faith is not born from certainty. It is born from trust in the one who never changes. Faith is walking when the way is unclear, continuing when every emotion tells you to stop holding my hand, even when all you see is a promise. You want me to explain, but some things, if explained too soon, would make no sense to you. And some things, if explained at all, would rob you of the sacred mystery of faith. Blessed are those who believe without seeing, not because they are blind, but because they see me more clearly than anything else. I do not fail. I have never failed in any life I hold, and I will not fail in yours. Do not worry about what you do not yet understand. I am not asking you to solve every puzzle. I simply want you to trust me, especially when everything seems confusing. True faith is not believing when it's easy, but believing when all seems to fall apart. believing that I am still good, still loving, even when everything seems to deny it. And when you say, I trust you, Lord, in that dark night, you have done what makes heaven rejoice. You do not have to do anything to be loved by me. I loved you before you ever did a thing. But that love is not passive. It searches for you. It waits for you. It follows you through every dark corner of life, refusing to let go. And when you are weary, it embraces you. When you scream, it still waits. When you are angry, it does not retreat. There is nothing you can do to make me love you less, and nothing you can do to make me love you more. My love for you is complete. So, my beloved, if today you find yourself in a dark place, do not be quick to curse the night. Look up. I am still here, the light that never goes out. Sit, breathe, and listen. My voice still speaks, not in haste, not harshly, not with force, but gently, steadily, faithfully. If you are still, you will hear me calling, my child, I am here, still here, waiting for you, and I will never leave. A day will come unlike any day you have ever known. A day beyond the concept of time, beyond the boundaries of space, beyond the laws of nature. A day when everything familiar to you will fall silent. No car horns, no hurried rhythms of life, no schedules, no breaking news, no social media. Only a holy stillness so profound it chills the soul. For the whole earth will stand in silence before my presence. The heavens will roll up like a scroll that has reached its final page. There will be no past to recall, no future, to fear, only the eternal present where every soul will stand before my throne, and you, my child, will be there in that very moment. Every breath I have given you since the day you were born has been leading you to that day. Every decision you have made, whether in light or in shadow, every word spoken, whether aloud or merely whispered in your heart, will be illuminated by the light that cannot be hidden. There will be no refuge for deceit, no corner dark enough to conceal pride, no excuse clever enough to mask the heart. I do not judge by appearances, by words, or religious acts. I judge with the complete light of truth, a light that does not close its eyes to what is wrong. That day is the day of judgment, but my child, do not let your heart tremble. I do not speak of this to cast you into panic, but to awaken you to live. I desire you to walk each day not under pressure, but with a deep awareness that your life carries eternal weight. You were not made to vanish in the currents of history. You were formed to enter eternity, not as a lost soul, but as a child returning to the Father's house. That day is not the end. It is the beginning of the unending, where there will be no more pain, no more tears, no more loss, only the radiant presence of me flooding all like a light that never dims. On that day, every book will be opened, not to accuse you, but to reveal the truth. The good you did in secret, the words of forgiveness you offered, while your heart ached, the sacrificial acts. No one knew the moments you chose what was right, when no one saw, all will be remembered. Not a single tear you shed for me will be forgotten. Not a single prayer you whispered will go unheard. All will be written not in ink, but in love. I am a just God. My justice is not like human justice, easily swayed by emotion or status. My justice is pure, unbribable, incorruptible, but this justice does not arise from wrath, it flows from holiness. For I am the one who cannot accept evil nor overlook injustice. Every wrong will be brought into light. Every forgotten wound will be addressed. Every pain once dismissed will be brought forth and fully healed. You may ask, if that day is so awesome and terrible, how can I possibly stand? And I say to you, you will not stand by your merit, but by the blood I shed for you. At the cross, I took upon myself all that could condemn you. Every sin, every stain, every shame, I bore it. I did not deny it. I did not dismiss it, but I paid for it. And if you place your trust in me, then the day of judgment will no longer be a day of condemnation, but a day of glory. You were not created to fear that day, but to live toward it in hope. Do not live as if this life is all there is. Do not let what is temporary consume your heart. Silver, fame, position, applause, recognition, all will pass away. Everything of this world will be swept away like dust. But what you do for me, for love, for righteousness, that will remain. So live as one who bears the citizenship of heaven. Do what is right, even when it costs you. Speak love even when it is not returned. Pray even when it seems to bear no fruit. Forgive even when no apology comes. For you are living not just for today, but for that day. And my child, on that day the sun will cease to shine. The moon will reflect no more light. The stars will fall like ashes. No more day and night. No more time, only eternity, and I myself will be your light. No other light will be needed. No source can replace me. My glory will fill all, pushing back every shadow forever. You will need no lamp, no moon, for my presence will cover you, radiant, holy, tender, and more steadfast than anything you've ever known. So live today, my child, with your eyes fixed on that day. Let eternity soak into every choice you make. Let every word you speak, every action you take, carry the fragrance of heaven. For one day you will see me no longer by faith, but with your own eyes. You will no longer ask, Lord, are you there? For then you will stand before me, and I will call you by name. I will wipe every tear from your eyes, and you will dwell with me forever. No more waiting, no more separation, only unity, perfect, unfading, everlasting. I love you, and I am still preparing you for that day. Do not forget, every day you live is one step closer to eternity. So live as though you know you will meet me, because you truly will. And I, your Father, your Redeemer, I will be there, arms open wide, not with wrathful fire, but with eyes full of glory and unwavering love. You are mine, and that day will be the day I embrace you forever, my beloved child. A day will come when all streams of time will stop, all voices will be silenced, and every soul from every nation, every generation, every class will gather in one place before my throne. That throne belongs to no earthly kingdom, is not worn by time, is unmoved by any power. There I, the Holy One, the unchanging, will be present, as I was from the beginning, still the God of Abraham, of Moses, and of you today. All will stand still. Every tongue that once spoke arrogance, that once denied me, that lived as if I were not real, will fall silent. Those who once sat on earthly thrones will be brought low. Those who commanded thousands will find themselves bare before truth. The souls who relied on status, beauty, wealth, influence will find no place to hide. Before me, all human glory will vanish like smoke. Only the soul bare and eternal will remain, facing the one who created it. And there, those once overlooked by the world, forgotten, who lived in silence with faithful and humble hearts, I will call them by name. They will lift their heads, eyes shining, because they know the one in whom they have believed is true, and you will be there too. No one can stand in your place. No one will speak for you. You will no longer be defined by your resume, your role, or your crafted image. You will not be teacher, entrepreneur, father, mother, pastor, or sinner. You will simply be you, your soul, your true essence, perhaps even a self you never fully knew. And I will look not with accusing eyes, but with eyes that understand you more deeply than you understand yourself. You may have lived a lifetime seeking the world's approval, performing, maintaining appearances, running from inner truth. But on that day, all coverings will fall away. No more masks, no more excuses. No more I had to, or because of them. Every hidden thought, every motive beneath actions, no matter how skillfully concealed, will be exposed in a brilliant light that nothing can escape. I will not examine you as man does, for man sees the outward, but I see the root. I search the heart and test the intentions, and this is not to condemn you. Do not be quick to fear, for my throne is not only a throne of judgment, it is also a throne of grace, where justice and mercy meet, where all is measured by holiness but never devoid of love. I do not judge to exact revenge. I judge to separate light from darkness, truth from falsehood, the holy from the unclean. Every injustice you ever suffered, I will weigh and restore in full. Every quiet sacrifice unseen by others, I saw it. Every tear dropped in secret, I have kept as treasure. But I will also bring to light the things you once hid. The moments you chose, compromised, the times you knew what was right but turned away, the good acts rooted in pride, the moral words spoken to mask selfish intent. All will be brought forth, not to crush you, but to free you from the lies that have long imprisoned you. For only in the light can truth heal. And only when truth is revealed can you walk into eternal freedom. Are you trembling? Perhaps. But hear me, if today you live in repentance, in reverence, and sincerity, then that day need not be feared. If today you walk in truth in the light, though you stumble yet return, then that day will be a day you lift your head high. I do not seek perfection, I seek honesty. I do not demand a sinless life, but I ask for a heart that is humble, that says, God, I need you. My child, do not wait for that day to begin truly living. Begin today, because every small decision you make, every quiet act, every faithful choice in the shadows is shaping the person you will bring before me. I do not wait until the final moment to begin watching. I have seen you since the day you were born, and I still see you now, not with the eyes of a judge, but with the longing of a father who yearns for you to return to your truest self in me. So hide no more. Do not retreat behind the veil of social media. Do not live for the approval of others. Do not smile while your heart aches. Be honest with me. Live as if that day is near, not in fear, but in joyful expectation. Because if you know you are walking in truth, then when I look at you, you will not bow your head in shame, but lift it in peace. You will hear me say, well done, my good and faithful servant. You have finished the race, you have kept the faith. Enter into the eternal joy of your master. My beloved child, do not fear my gaze. I do not only see what you do, I see why you do it. I see the battles within, the temptations you've overcome, the moments you held your tongue, though you had every right to speak, the times you forgave, while still in pain, the prayers you couldn't even voice. All of it holds eternal value. And if today you walk in the light, then on that day the light will shine upon you and testify that you lived as one who belonged to me, my precious child. And so it is, because of you. Because of every moment I saw your soul wandering, because of every time you collapsed in despair, because of those nights when you felt invisible in this vast world, I came. I did not come merely to speak, I came to suffer. I did not come only to teach, I came to sacrifice. My love is not a love of words, but a love that took on flesh, bore stripes, bled, and wept. The cross is not just a symbol, it is undeniable proof I have loved you to the end. On the hill of Golgotha, it was not merely a man's body, it was the ransom for every soul ever condemned. It was not a defeat, but the most paradoxical victory in all history, when death was defeated by death. The blood that fell was not yours, it was mine. Because I knew you could not save yourself. I knew you were not strong enough, not good enough, not righteous enough to stand firm on the final day, so I stepped in your place. Every drop of blood upon that earth was a promise unbreakable. You will not be abandoned. You will not be condemned. And then the day will come, the day when every soul will be called by name, the day when heaven and earth will fall silent and every life will be placed in the light. You will stand there with no more place to hide. But if your trust is in my Son, the one who bore your sins, then my child, you will not stand alone. When the record of your life is opened, it will not be your sins that appear first, but His name. Not your shortcomings, but His righteousness. Not the voice of the accuser, but the defense of the Lamb who died in your place. You will not be condemned because the one who could have been condemned stood in for you. You will not be shamed, for He bore your disgrace. You will not pay the price, for it has been paid in full. And I, who am both just and merciful, will look upon you through the lens of that sacrifice. The robe of righteousness He wore will cover you. His wounds will speak for your stains, and instead of judgment there will be welcome. Then you will hear the words, your soul has longed for your entire life. Well done, good and faithful servant. Not because you never stumbled, but because you never gave up. Not because you were always strong, but because you always returned. I saw every tear, every quiet prayer, every choice to forgive when resentment was easier. I saw you choose love while still healing. That is faithfulness, not by the world's standards, but by a heart shaped in my hands. And I will open my arms wide, bringing you into incomparable joy, not a fleeting happiness, but a deep fulfillment. You are home. No more tears, no more wounds, no more accusing voices. Only light, only songs, only my eternal presence with you. Every unfulfilled dream, every promise thought forgotten, every sacrifice that seemed unseen, It will all be redeemed in that moment. Eternity will begin not as a surprising reward, but as the full restoration of what was always yours from the beginning. I have loved you enough to die. For you will I not also live with you forever. So my child, hold fast to the faith. Keep praying, keep hoping, keep listening quietly for me. Even if the road is long, unclear, even if your heart grows weary, remember that the end is certain, not because of your strength, but because of the cross, not because of your success, but because of my unchanging love. And that day will come when every wrong is made right, every tear wiped away, and every longing answered by me. And when that day comes, you will not be the one who stands in fear, but the one welcomed into everlasting joy. For I will call you by my own name, and you will know you were loved, you were redeemed, and you were chosen from before the foundation of the world. My beloved child, there is something I must say to you, not to frighten, but so you may understand the weight of what is to come. Because I love you, I will not hide what is hard to hear. I do not wrap truths in soft words to soothe the conscience. I reveal them to awaken the soul. Not everyone will hear my voice. Not every soul will enter the light. There are those who have chosen a path without me, and in the end they will walk that path to its full conclusion alone, without light, without hope, without me. They will stand before my throne as all must. No one escapes, no one hides. In that moment, my glory and majesty will cover all, and every soul will know that I am holy. Deception will be swallowed by light. Deeds once thought noble, moral words, acts done in my name but without me, all will burn in the fire of truth. And then they will plead, they will beg, they will try to persuade me with all they have done. They will recall the times they helped the poor, preached sermons, prayed in crisis. But I am not moved by appearances. I am not impressed by achievements. I do not seek works, I seek hearts. I do not examine tasks, I examine relationship. Did they truly know me, not know about me, but know me as a child, knows their father as a friend, knows a friend's voice as a lover, knows the rhythm of their beloved's heart. I seek communion, simple yet deep, quiet yet unmistakable. There are those who live their lives close to religion but far from me. They did good things but without genuine love for me. They spoke in my name, but their hearts never belonged to me. They prayed, but only as routine, without heart, without communion. And on that day when the light fills everything, I will look them in the eyes, and my heart will break as I speak the words that make even angels tremble. Depart from me, for I never knew you. My child, I do not say this in anger. I do not speak in bitterness. Those words carry the deepest sorrow of a father who waited but was never answered, of a lover who called in vain. I had opened. My arms wide, waited with patience, day after day, stood knocking at the door of their hearts, but they never opened. They chose the world, chose reason, chose a freedom without bounds, and I in true love never force anyone into heaven against their will. I cannot be one with darkness, not because I hate, but because my holiness cannot be mingled. I am righteous, and that is not just a trait, it is my essence. Justice cannot ignore evil. Light cannot coexist with darkness. My love is real, but it is also holy, and true love always gives the freedom to choose. I honor human will, even when that freedom leads them away from me forever. They chose to live without me. I will not mock that decision. I do not cast them out, they left long ago. Their life was a declaration, I do not need God, and on that day I will simply affirm what they have chosen all along. It will be the final moment when all paths end and every decision becomes eternal. No more appeals. No second chances. No starting over. Only judgment, not in wrath, but in pain and justice. My child, I do not speak these things to scare you, but to awaken your soul. Do not live a life only close to religious feelings. Do not attend church out of habit. Do not read scripture just to check a list. I do not desire rituals, I long for true love. I want to walk with you each day. I want to hear your voice not only in times of trouble, but in days of peace. I do not want rehearsed prayers. I desire intimate conversation. I do not wait for a dazzling faith. I seek a heart that is real, even if trembling but not false. My beloved child, there are things I must tell you with all solemnity, though it breaks my heart to speak them aloud. Because I am a father, and a true father never hides the truth, no matter how hard it is to hear. Listen to me not with your ears, but with your soul, for what I am about to say marks the boundary between light and darkness, between unending life and eternal death. Eternity does not begin in heaven, nor in hell. It begins at the final moment when you release your last breath on this earth. When your mortal eyes close for the last time, your soul will awaken in the eternal realm, not vague, not dreamlike, but more real than anything you've ever known. Your body will return to dust, but your soul, the eternal, indestructible part of you, will step through the final door, and that door, my child, once closed, cannot be reopened by your will. There will be no second chances, no more what-ifs, no more time, only the final destination where you will remain forever. What is heaven? Heaven is not merely a reward, not only a beautiful place with streets of gold or choirs of angels, though that is true. Above all, heaven is my presence, unveiled, unhindered, limitless. It is light that never fades, joy that never ceases, peace like a river that never runs dry. There are no more tears, no death, no separation. No more night, for my glory is its light. You will no longer seek me in faith, for you will see me, know me, and dwell with me completely. There will be no unanswered questions, nothing lacking, only fullness and a glory that never fades. I created heaven for you, for all who love me, for all who receive my grace by faith. I want you there. I have prepared a place, not a generic space, but one specifically meant for you. I know your name. I know your smile, your voice, every scar you bear. And I long for you to enter eternity not as a guest, but as a child coming home. But my child, there is also another place. A reality just as eternal, but without me. A place called hell, not a scare tactic to manipulate belief, but the painful truth of a soul that chooses to walk away from me. Hell is not a place I desire for anyone. I did not create it for you, but for the devil and his angels, those who rebelled and dragged others with them in defiance. Yet I love you enough not to force you to be with me if you do not wish it. True love cannot be coerced. And if one chooses to live without me all their life, then when they pass into eternity, I cannot and will not compel them to draw near. Hell is the absence of me. And since I am the source of life, where I am not, there is no life. There is no light, for I am light. No peace, for I am peace. No hope, for I am hope. What remains is unrelenting emptiness, unending darkness, a loneliness beyond description, and a silent cry that is never answered. Not because I no longer love, but because the soul has rejected the one who loves most. Some ask me, why would God allow anyone to go to hell? But they do not understand. I have done everything to keep them from that place. I bore their punishment. I stretched out my arms on the cross. I sacrificed so that every soul might return. I have knocked, I have called, I have waited with patience. But some, out of pride, out of anger, out of self-love, have said no to grace. They want no forgiveness, no guidance, and in the end I can do nothing but allow them to walk the path they themselves have chosen. Hell is not vengeance. It is the final result of separation from me, and it is what breaks my heart the most. My child, be awake. Do not live as though this life is all there is. Do not let the false light of the world dim the true light. Do not let fleeting pleasures cost you eternity. Every choice you make today is drawing you closer to one of two eternal destinies, heaven or hell. There is no gray zone, no neutrality. There is me and the absence of me. That is all. And it is you who are deciding, not by a single word, but by your way of living, your beliefs, and your response to my grace. I speak to you today not to frighten you, but to draw you near. I want you to know clearly where you are going. I do not want you to wake up in eternity and realize you lost your soul for things that do not last. Look honestly at the truth. This life will end. Everything will pass, your work, your money, your position, applause, all the things you're clinging to. But your soul remains. And the question I ask you today is, where do you want to spend eternity? Heaven is still open. The door is still ajar. Grace is still waiting, but time waits for no one. You do not know if the next breath is still yours. Do not delay. Do not pretend you have endless chances. Today, if you hear my voice, do not harden your heart. Come, let go of what stands between us. Turn back, and I with all mercy will embrace you. No condemnation, no record of the past, only forgiveness, healing, and a place beside me in unending glory. My beloved, I chose you before you chose me. I loved you before you knew how to love, but you must respond, for love requires a response to become union. Do not wait until the door closes to try to enter. Step in today in the light, in life, in the unshakable love I have for you. And one day when the eternal door opens for real, you will not be afraid, for I will be there, waiting for you with arms forever open. My beloved child, my heart is not made of stone. It is tender, full of love, and quietly cracked in places you cannot see, because I ache, truly ache, for the souls I once called by name, to whose hearts I knocked, for whom I waited in silent patience. But they turned away. I came to them not in dazzling form, but in simplicity, in a gentle invitation, a glance from a stranger, a passing verse of scripture, a quiet afternoon that stirred their spirit. I knocked not once but many times. Yet they refused. They shut their hearts, and step by step they walked away from me until no light remained to shine upon them. I do not rejoice when a soul enters eternal darkness. On the contrary, I grieve. No one is unjustly cast away by me. Every person was loved, was given a chance, was called. But they chose, and I, though almighty, still honor that choice, for love cannot be forced. That is why when I speak to you now, it is not the cold voice of warning, but the pleading voice of a father. Listen. That day is closer than you think. No one knows the hour, but time does not wait. One day the trumpet will sound, not of men, but of eternity. Heaven will open, and the veil between the present and the eternal will be torn. The dead will rise. Forgotten souls will stand again, some to enter everlasting life, radiant in the glory I've prepared for them. But others will stand in emptiness, in despair, in bitterness, for they rejected the light while it still shone on their path, and the whole world, though loud today, will fall silent before me. Every excuse will cease. Every noise will fade. Pride will vanish like morning mist. In that moment, only truth will remain naked and blazing. No crowds to hide behind. No ground to stand on except the foundation of true faith built upon me. And you, my child, will be there. No one will be absent. Whether king or commoner, old or young, renowned or forgotten, all will be present. So today I ask you not to condemn, but for you to examine yourself. What are you living for? What fills your mind each morning and haunts you each night? What brings you joy or stirs your deepest fears? The goals you're chasing, do they last eternally, or are they towers of sand crumbling with time? Where are you rooting your soul in fame, in wealth, in work, in relationships, or in me? Do not be deceived, my child. Everything you see now will pass. The things that once made you proud, the things others admired one day, they will be forgotten. Even the good you did, if not born from reverence and true love, will be burned like chaff before the light of holiness. Fame will fade. Possessions will decay. The greatest opportunities of this life, no matter how grand, cannot buy even a moment in eternity. Only one thing will remain: your soul. That soul is eternal. It will not die with your body. It will not fade with time. It will live forever, either in the light of my glory or in separation from me, where there is no hope, no joy, no life. There is no in-between, only light or darkness, heaven or hell, eternal life or eternal death. And my child, what determines where your soul goes is not fleeting emotions nor sparse good deeds, but the choices you are making every day in the smallest of things. I do not say these things to threaten. I say them because I love you too much to remain silent while you live as though this life is all there is. I want you to awaken. I want you to remember that every moment you live is part of eternity. No second is meaningless. No decision too small to echo in the spiritual realm. I am not calling you to live fast, shallow lives. I am calling you to live deep with the awareness that you belong to an unshakable kingdom. So pause just once. Do not let life's whirlwind carry you so far that you no longer recognize my voice. Examine yourself. Ask your heart what truly matters. Am I the one on the throne of your heart, or has something else taken my place? Let go of what weighs you down, pointless worries, empty goals, and return to the one thing that never passes: your relationship with me. I do not ask you to be perfect overnight, but I do ask you to be honest. Begin with one prayer, not polished, not rehearsed, just real. Say to me, Father, I want to live forever with you. Please do not let me waste another day, and I will answer. I have never ignored a sincere cry. I have never turned away a soul that returns. If you truly seek me, you will find me not after death, but here and now in the life you are living. My beloved child, do not let uneventful days lull your heart into sloth. Do not let the fleeting peace of this world make you forget that all you see today shall pass. The things you hold on to, the schedules you plan, the matters you deem urgent, all will give way to one sure reality, so often forgotten: the day of my return. No one knows the hour, no one knows the minute. But I have promised, and what I have promised will not be delayed. Do not comfort yourself with the thought that I am late, nor believe that you can prepare at the last moment. For that day will not come with warning alarms. It will come like lightning in a cloudless sky, like a thief in the stillness of night. In the very moment you do not expect, the door will close, and the eternal chapter will begin. So, live in watchfulness, not with fear but with anticipation. Not merely with open eyes, but with an awakened soul. Let me see you, though weak, though learning to stand firm, still one who keeps the lamp burning, still one who waits for the return of their master with sincere hope. Let me find you not cowering in anxiety, but moving in faith, loving, serving, forgiving, and surrendering. Do not be the one who buries their talents out of fear. Be the one who uses what I have entrusted to please me, because you know I am coming soon. Like the wise servant, do what is right, not because someone watches, but because your heart has been transformed. When no one sees you, remain truthful. When others easily choose falsehood, you still choose truth. When many live for themselves, you live for me. Do good not for praise, but because heaven takes note. Let love be the banner over your life, not vague sentiment, but love in action, willing to forgive, ready to serve, eager to lay oneself down. Let purity be the lamp to your steps, that each step may be free from the mire of compromise. Do not clothe your life with pride or display. Wear humility like the robe of those who belong to me. In a world chasing after fleeting treasures, choose to store up what time and sin cannot touch. Every act of love done in my name, every tear shed for righteousness, every quiet intercession you speak, I never forget. I remember. I will reward, not with gold or silver, but with eternal glory which your heart has always longed for. Do not be deceived by the spacious, pleasant road that many take. That is the path to ruin. Applause, flattery, indulgent lifestyles, all will fade like the morning mist. But the narrow way, though sometimes lonely, misunderstood, or marked by tears that no one wipes, leads to life. And that life is not only the destination, but begins the moment you walk that path with me. Choosing that path is not a one-time decision, it is daily. In every choice, in every word, in every reaction, because every moment you live today echoes into eternity. Do not wait until old age to live for what is eternal. Do not wait until you have time to seek me, for you do not know if you will live to see the morning light. Every breath is a gift. Every day is a chance given, not to live for yourself, but to align your heart with mine. And I call you, not tomorrow, not after everything is settled, but now, in the middle of the mess, in the turmoil of your heart, in the questions without answers. It is now that I call you to draw near to me. My beloved child, do not let your heart grow hardened by the long wait. Do not let the world lull your soul with things that seem reasonable but steal away true life. Do not come into my presence with empty hands, not because you had nothing, but because you wasted precious time on things that hold no value in the light of eternity. Live as though you are about to meet me, because truly each day brings you closer to that moment. Be brave to reject ease in order to hold on to what is precious. Stand firm in choosing what is right, even if no one supports you. Listen for my voice amid the noise and follow, not out of obligation, but out of love. Let your heart be soft in my hands so I can shape it into something more beautiful than you ever imagined. For preparation is not an event, it is a process, and you are in that process, today, this very moment. I do not call you to burden you with rules, but to give you a new heart, a heart that loves truth, delights in goodness, and recognizes my presence even when the world does not. I am looking for the faithful, not the flawless, but those who obey in trial, trust in confusion, pray in weariness, and keep their lamps burning in the dark. My child, if today were the last day, where would I find you? If the trumpet sounded this moment, would your heart be turned toward me? Would you be ready to meet me? Not as a stranger, but as a beloved child coming home. Live as though every problem's breath has eternal worth. Live with light in your eyes, fire in your heart, and a hope that never fades. That I am coming soon, and I am preparing a reward for those who remain faithful to the end. My beloved child, I am patient. Yes, truly. So patient that people mistake it for delay, thinking I have forgotten, that I have turned away, that I no longer care for this broken world. But my patience is not weakness or hesitation. I am patient because I desire that none should perish. I delay judgment not because I cannot act, but because I am giving time for your heart, for all hearts, to repent and return. I am holding the door of grace open every moment, even if you cannot hear its call above the noise of life. The world spins fast, but my clock still moves. Not in haste, not out of sync, but surely, precisely, and none can stop it. The ticking of grace does not sound like an alarm, but it is present in every warm day and every breath still granted. Every morning you awaken is a gentle reminder. Today grace remains. But there will come a moment, sudden, unannounced, when that hand will stop, and then it will no longer be the day of salvation, but the day of reckoning. So, my child, let me do my work in you now, not tomorrow, not when you feel better, not when you feel worthy. Let me wash you, with living water that never runs dry, with precious blood once shed not for illustration, but for true redemption. Let me refine you, not with a fire that destroys, but with a fire that purifies all that is impure. Let me renew your mind with truth, that you may cease to believe lies, cease to follow worldly wisdom, and begin to live by my word. Do not resist anymore. Do not delay your step into the light. I do not seek perfect ones. I seek willing ones. Humble souls ready for me to shape, to teach, to rebuild from the broken pieces. Let my spirit dwell in the deepest parts of you, the places untouched by anyone, and breathe life again into what has withered. I want to make you strong, not by your will, but by my power. When you are filled with me, nothing in this world can overcome your soul. For I will return. Do you hear clearly? I will return. Not as a simple infant in a manger, not as a lamb led to slaughter. This time I come as a glorious king, as the sovereign one who has triumphed, as the one before whom heaven and earth must bow. My robe is dipped in blood, not the blood of enemies, but my own, the eternal proof that I paid the full price of salvation. My eyes are like flames of fire. Nothing can be hidden from that gaze. Every heart, every thought, every motive will be laid bare. When I speak, my voice will thunder like many waters, mighty, majestic, unmistakable. Every kingdom will fall, every throne will tremble, every voice that once rose against me will be silenced just before it bows in reverence. The earth will tremble not from wrath, but from a presence that cannot be resisted. The heavens will open, and I, the one once crucified, once mocked, once rejected by man, will appear in glory, and I will judge, not by public opinion, not by emotion, but by truth. No one can bribe me. No one can perform. No one can excuse away the state of their heart. I will judge each soul, not by the quantity of deeds, but by the relationship. I will ask, do you know me? And to those who are mine, who have been washed, sanctified, refined, they will not hang their heads in shame. They will stand not by their merit, but because my grace completed its work in them. Beloved child of mine, there will come a moment when you stand before me, no more noise, no more stage, no more roles to maintain. Everything that once consumed your heart in this world, your achievements, your works, your glory, or your failures, will fade away like smoke in the wind. And in that moment, I will not ask how much you built, how famous you became, or how many applause you received. I will not look at the walls you erected around you, but at the garden you quietly cultivated within. Did you make room for me in the depths of your soul? Did you listen for me amid the clamor of this life? Did you let me live through you, through your words, your actions, and the way you loved others, even when no one saw, no one recognized I? That was with you every day, not just when you read the scriptures or prayed, but in the stillness of your room, in your wrestlings between right and wrong, between forgiveness and resentment, between endurance and giving up. I was there, never taking my eyes off you, never giving up on you, even when you gave up on yourself. I long to say, "Come in, my beloved." There is nothing I desire more than to embrace you, to wipe your tears, to robe you in the radiant glory I prepared for you before the dawn of time. But I will not distort the truth to make you feel comfortable. I will not call darkness light, nor compromise love for convenience. I am just. I am holy. And because of that, I will not let sin dwell in my presence. My beloved child, do you know? This is the reason the cross still stands majestic and unshaken between the two extremes of humanity. On one side, the abyss of despair. On the other, the realm of eternal life. The cross is not merely a symbol carved into wood, not merely an ornament hanging in cathedrals, nor a relic for men to admire from a distance as a token of religion. The cross is the gateway, the bridge, the span stretched between darkness and light, between loss and life, between sinful humanity and eternal love. It is not silent like a statue. It still speaks, still echoes through the centuries, still whispers to every wandering soul, "Come home." Every wound upon my body was not by chance, nor was it only the cruelty of a fleeting moment in history. Every nail driven through my hands and feet is a testimony, a voice that never ceases. I chose to suffer in your place. Every lash that tore my flesh is a call. I bore pain so that you may be healed. And every drop of blood was not in vain. It is proof that my love was never empty promise, never mere beautiful words. It is a love that goes to the very end, a love that withholds nothing, that surrenders all so that not one soul need be lost. My child, I did not create you to waste away in fear, nor to wither under the weight of meaninglessness. I did not breathe life into you so that you would be a victim of darkness. I fashioned you to live in glory, to shine in love, to be a precious jewel in my hand. But humanity, through its fall by choosing wrongly, walked out of the light. I have seen it. I watched generation after generation drown in despair, and so I chose the cross as the only way to open the path home again. Pause and consider an almighty God who could have banished evil with a single word, chose instead the most painful way to redeem mankind. Why? Because true love does not seek the easy path for itself, but the necessary path for the beloved. I chose the cross not because I was weak, but because I was strong enough to bear all your weakness. I did not want anyone to endure eternal separation, so I bore separation myself so that you would never again be apart from me. You see, the cross still stands through generations, despite rejection, despite mockery. Men may scorn it, may call it folly, yet it is there that love was fully revealed. They may wear the cross as jewelry without understanding, or raise it as a cultural emblem stripped of meaning. But for me, and for you, it is the door. A door open to all without distinction, to the one who has stumbled, the one who has betrayed the soul that has despaired. Whoever comes may enter if they dare to believe and receive. My child, know this. The cross does not only remind you of suffering, it is a source of strength. It reminds you there is no pain of yours I do not understand, no wound I have not borne. It reminds you there is no sin too great for my blood to cleanse, no failure too deep for me to lift you from. When you look at the cross, you will know that my love went to the very end, and if I did not spare even my own life, what would I withhold to help you? The cross is also the place where you learn the meaning of life. The world tells you life is found in grasping and accumulating, in guarding yourself, but I show you that true life is found in giving, in surrender, in dying to self, to discover a greater fullness. The cross is a paradox in human eyes, yet it is the truth of eternity. When you walk this way, you may feel you are losing, yet you are truly gaining yourself. When you feel you are sacrificing, you are truly receiving a reward far greater. And remember, my love did not end in death. The cross was not the final word, but the bridge into resurrection life. That is why when you face darkness, do not believe it is the end. When you find yourself in pain, do not think hope is gone. For if the cross led to resurrection, then every suffering you endure can lead to a new season of life. My child, I do not want you afraid. I did not make you to be a slave to hatred or despair. I made you to love, to be loved, to shine in glory. I did not call you to run away, but to rise in the midst of darkness as a testimony to the light. I did not shape you to abandon you, but so that each day you would grow more like me, stronger, freer, fuller. And hold this close, everything I bore on the cross was for you. Every drop of blood, every wound, every whispered, "Come home," each carries your name engraved upon it. So when you are weak, remember the cross. When you doubt, look to the love that gave its very life. When you feel worthless, listen to the voice from my wounds. You are worth so much that I died for you. And when you tremble before death, remember that I passed through death to open the way to life, and no one, nothing can ever close that door again. My beloved child, therefore, if you stumble, rise again. Do not let your fall define you, nor let the mocking laughter of others convince you that your chance is gone. I am not ashamed of your weakness, for I know the frailty of human nature. What breaks my heart is not that you fall, but when you refuse to rise, when you leave yourself lying in the mud and believe there is no way back. My child, how many times does a toddler fall when learning to walk? And what father is ashamed of his child for falling? On the contrary, the father's joy is in seeing his little one stand up with courage and take another step, even if trembling, even if unsteady. So it is with me. I rejoice each time you choose to rise, even when you think you have achieved nothing great. If you doubt, call on me. I am not distant from the weak. People often imagine I only draw near to the holy, the strong, the flawless in faith. But the truth is this: I am closer still to those who dare to be honest about their weakness. I do not ask you to hide your fears nor to cloak yourself with pretense. I only ask for sincerity. When you tremble and whisper, "Father, I doubt," I am not strong enough to believe fully. That is the very moment my arms reach nearest. I do not reject such weakness. On the contrary, I listen, I embrace, and I strengthen. Remember, this faith is not never doubting. Faith is calling on me even in the midst of doubt. If you lose your way, return. Do not think you must first find the right path before daring to turn back. Do not imagine you must be clean enough, strong enough, worthy enough before stepping toward me. You will never feel entirely ready. Humanity cannot reach perfection by its own effort. But my child, I am enough for you. Where you lack, I complete. Where you are weak, I give strength. Where you are afraid, I bring peace. You need only decide to return, and I will take care of the rest. As the father ran to embrace the prodigal while he still reeked of dust and hunger, so do I. I do not wait for you to be better, cleaner, or worthy. I only long for you to come back. My arms are still open. You may feel that every door has shut, that every person has turned away, but my embrace has never closed. Do not fear that I will push you aside, for my heart does not know how to reject a returning child. My heart still beats, and every beat is one of waiting. Do you think time makes me forget? No, my child. Every moment I still hope, still watch, longing for you to return as a father watches the horizon for his lost child to come home. Know this: in my eyes, the return of one soul is more precious than the grandest rituals, more precious than the greatest monuments of man. I do not seek perfect ceremonies. I seek a heart that truly longs to come back. When you choose to return, heaven rejoices. When you whisper, "Father, I am home," the angels themselves lift up songs of triumph. To me, nothing is more precious than the moment a child thought lost is found again. Etch this truth upon your heart. There is no distance too far for my love to reach, no wound too deep for my blood to heal, no sin too heavy for my grace to erase, and no fall so final that I cannot lift you up. Therefore, if you fall, rise again. If you doubt, call on me. If you wander, come home. For my love remains unchanging, my arms remain open. My heart continues to beat, and I will never cease waiting for you. My beloved child, you are not just a name lost in the crowd, not a fleeting call that vanishes into nothingness. You are the one whose name I have spoken long before the earth was formed, before the first light ever touched the sun. I do not call you by number as people number an army or label lifeless goods. I call you by your very name, the name I have known, loved, and whispered long before anyone on earth ever uttered it. You may think your name is small, easily forgotten, unimportant. But to me, every syllable of your name resounds like music, carrying within it a story, a destiny I have cherished from eternity. I have engraved your name upon my hand, not with ink which fades, smears, or is worn away by time. I engraved it with the pain of love, with the wounds of the cross, with the crimson blood of my own being. On the very hands that stretched out to hold the universe, that traced the boundaries of the seas, that laid the foundation of the heavens, on those hands, your name is written. And that engraving can never be erased, for it was not written with human tools, but carved with eternal love. You may fear that one day I will forget you as people forget each other when seasons change and time passes by. But hear this, I do not forget a single day of your life. On your bright days, when you rejoice, when you shine, when you rise like the morning sun, I am there. I celebrate with you. I dance with your joy. And on your darkest days, when you weep alone, when you feel abandoned, when you think no one understands you, I am there too, never leaving. I see not only the things you do outwardly, but the hidden tremors of your heart. I see when you hold back a sigh so others won't worry. I see when you smile, though inside you are breaking. I see when your silence is filled with storms, and still I stay. Understand this, I am not the one who looks on coldly and walks away. I am your Father. I watch over you, not to control but to protect. I know all, not to condemn but to love without limit. When you rejoice, I rejoice with you. When you weep, my tears fall too. When you succeed, I exult. When you stumble, I stoop down to lift you up. I am never so far that I do not know you, nor so near that I dismiss your pain. I am exactly where I must be, close enough to hold you, vast enough to embrace you. My child, remember this. My presence does not depend on your feelings. There may be days when I feel distant, silent, as if I no longer care. But even in those very moments, I am there, waiting, listening, holding you in unseen arms. Just as the sky may be veiled with heavy clouds, yet the sun still shines above, so too, my love never changes, even when hidden from your sight. Your name is on my lips, in my heart, and upon my hands. When you call to me, I answer, not because you are among the masses, but because I know it is you. When you whisper in the dark, I distinguish your voice from 1,000 others. When you breathe a prayer, I recognize your tone. You are not lost in the multitude, not blurred, not forgotten. You are unique, singular, and precious in my eyes. So never believe the lie that you are meaningless, that no one remembers you. I remember you. Do not believe you are just a speck of dust in infinity. To me, you are the treasure I guard. Do not think your days pass unnoticed. I notice. I do not forget a single one, whether filled with triumph or defeat, with joy or heartbreak, with strength or weakness. Every day is inscribed in my heart like a love letter written about you. And my child, because I do not forget, you can walk in peace. You may stumble, you may falter, you may not know what tomorrow holds, but be certain of this, I will never abandon you. I do not leave when you are weak. I do not turn away when you fail. I do not vanish when you need me. I remain steadfast, patient, embracing. My love is not grounded in your success, but in you yourself, the child I call by name with all tenderness. You are the one I treasure from the very first moment to the very last. And for all eternity, when every other name may fade from human memory, your name will remain forever in my heart, never erased. Do not fear death, my child. If you belong to me, death is no longer your enemy. It is the doorway to true life. Everything you now sense vaguely about me will become clear. Everything you now believe by faith will become sight. Then you will know me, not as through a dim mirror, but as clearly as I know you. You will not only see a portion of grace, a glimpse of glory, or a fragment of love. You will see it all, and your soul will rejoice knowing, this is what I've waited for all my life. And there where I am preparing a place for those who are mine, there is no trace of sin. No accusation is allowed to be spoken. No memory of shame remains. No wound will sting upon remembering. All will be healed. Every tear will be wiped away. No more separation, no more darkness. Only unending light, unchanging joy, and everlasting love. But today you are still here in a world full of lures, full of temptation, full of noise, and I say to you, live ready, not in fear, but in awareness. Lift your eyes, for your life does not end on this earth. Live as one who carries the bloodline of heaven. Walk through this life, but do not belong to it. Guard yourself from defilement, from compromise, from hypocrisy. Let your heart grow tender in my hands. Let my light guide you. Let my word be the standard for every decision. Preach my gospel not just with words, but with your life. Nurture those I place under your care, not out of obligation, but out of love. Be my hands and feet, go where I lead, touch those I long to embrace. You are not just a bearer of the good news. You are my living letter to the world. Live as one who longs for an unshakable kingdom, for I am coming soon. And I am not slow as some perceive. I am coming quickly. No one knows the hour, but blessed is the one who remains watchful, who keeps a pure heart, who lives in expectation. That one will not tremble at the sound of the trumpet. That one will not run at the sight of the heavens opening. That one will step forward not in fear but in holy awe, not in shame but in complete joy, not as a stranger but as a child who has finally come home, and then I will run to meet you. No scolding, no review of your records. I will embrace you, wipe away your tears, and say, well done. You kept the faith. You finished the race. Come in, your home is ready. Now, beloved child, open your heart and offer me your most sincere prayer, not with formulas, not with pretense, but with the truth from the depths of your soul. Almighty God, my gracious Father, I bow before your holiness, not with hands full of merit, but with a trembling, tender heart. I know I am not enough, not worthy, not clean enough to draw near to you. Yet I also know that the blood of your Son has carved a way through the chasm bridging heaven and earth for me to approach. Today I come not to ask for more, but to let go. Let go of burdens, let go of pride, let go of the self I've clung to. Please, receive this soul. Pour your Holy Spirit into the emptiness that nothing in this world can fill. Eternal Creator, the one who called me by name. There were days I forgot you, but you never forgot me. There were seasons I strayed from the path, but your footprints still walked beside mine in those hidden trails. Please forgive the slowness of my faith, the laziness in prayer, the doubts that hide beneath my piety. Today I come, not with a spiritual performance, but with a heart that knows it needs, rescue needs, healing needs, your touch. Grant me holiness not by the world's standards, but through your eyes. Gentle Holy Spirit who dwells within me, please rekindle the flame I let burn low. Shake the hardness in my heart and let me be broken once again by your love. I do not need great things, I only need to know. You are still guiding me, still with me, no matter what becomes of the world. Teach me to recognize your voice among the thousands. Help me choose what is eternal, even if it means losing what the world holds dear. O one who died so I might live. Thank you for the cross that still stands as a landmark of hope, as a sign of forgiveness. I will come to it daily, lay my life at its foot, and live from the life that flows from it. Hold me within your mercy, so that when the day comes I will not tremble in fear, but rejoice to see you face to face. My beloved Lord, thank you for never growing weary in loving me, even when I am weary of myself. I know that without your kindness, I would not have stood until today. Thank you for covering my life in mercy, even in moments I could not see it. Every breath I draw is a witness to your goodness. You are worthy of all glory, not just for what you do, but for who. You are the unchanging one, forever worthy. Faithful Father, thank you for not seeing me through the lens of this world, but through the love of the one who formed me. I do not need to live to please others, for you chose me when I was unworthy. You never abandoned me, never turned away, even when I turned my back. I thank you for that love, a love stronger than death, deeper than all understanding, and truer than anything I've ever known, giver of eternal life. Thank you for giving me a hope that does not fade, a kingdom that cannot be shaken, a spiritual family that cannot be separated, a name that cannot be taken away, child of the living God. I thank you that nothing can separate me from your love, not circumstances, not people, not failure, not even myself. Your redemption is the ground I stand on each day. Glorious Jesus, thank you that the cross was not the end but the beginning. You turned death into a fountain of eternal life. Thank you for choosing me, for ransoming this soul with your very blood. That love compels me to never live the same. Thank you for letting me belong to a better place to you. I offer this prayer in the holy name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that together we can build a strong faith community.